celebration, there's a psychology to it.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
There's a grand emotion with something like a celebration. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see the tribal culture, they have all the rituals, they have all their, festivals, they have all the different sort of, I don't know what they have, but
For
they
us,
have
it's the parade.
lot. For us, it's the parade.
the parade,
Actually, so trivia, right? Do you know the different public holidays, the different celebrations that Singapore has public holidays for?
Yes,
National
Deepavali.
Day, Deepavali, Christmas, Hari
Hari
Raya,
Raya.
Chinese New Year,
New Year's.
New Year's.
What's the last one?
Mother's Day.
No.
National Day, right?
National Day, yes.
We're definitely missing out on something. Vesak Day.
Yes. Vesak Day.
Vesak Day.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
Friday. Good Friday.
Oh, is it a
That's
public
true.
holiday?
It is a public holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's a
is.
public
It is.
holiday,
It
yeah.
is. Yeah. So, haven't you wondered why we needed public holidays for all these different days or all these different festivities?
So people can go out and celebrate.
Yeah.
So people
but
can
for
have
what?
a-
Why?
Long weekend.
Yeah, so people get to rest.
Did you?
I think it's become about the long weekend, but initially it
Yeah.
was to pay homage to or respect if they have things to do that day.
Right, right. And also, some people have used the opportunity to let it become very commercial. So,
Oh,
yeah, it
fair.
loses its essence of togetherness, of that whole community coming together.
But I think
I-
if Christmas was not so commercial, I wouldn't feel Christmassy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
For Christmas
I
is
beg-
always such a commercial occasion.
It's how you look at it. If you're looking at that community coming together, that whole
Yeah.
one people sort of thing. If
Yeah.
you look at Hari Raya and you look at Chinese New Year, that is total community.
Yep.
It's
and very
crazy.
commercial also. What? Chinese
It
New Year
is
and
also
Hari
very
Raya.
commercial.
Extremely commercial.
I think it's what you make of it. I mean, you can't control what other people are going to do. And so, there are always going to be people that stick to the tradition and other people that just use it as a holiday if they don't feel connected
Yeah.
to that particular religion or
Yeah.
family. Because some people don't have family to visit
Yeah.
Chinese New Year.
This is-
But even
true.
Good Friday also is commercial. What?
Oh,
you know
yeah,
the
totally.
number of hot cross buns that they sell in the lead up to
No,
Good
I'm
Friday.
Not just in Australia.
No, I've got to say, I think Good Friday has really lost a lot of its meaning.
Yeah.
What do you
Christmas
mean?
too. I think Christmas, of course.
Lost a lot of its meaning.
You know, seafood restaurants make a lot of money
When?
On
When?
Good Friday.
during on
Friday?
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, because you cannot
Can
eat
eat meat?
meat.
Yes. Correct. Char kway teow also. I remember growing up, it's like, Good Friday, what do you want to eat? Char kway teow. Where do you want to go? Seafood restaurant.
My family has a tradition. Good Friday means Little India, vegetarian food.
Oh,
wow.
Every Good Friday.
See, that's a tradition you guys have forged within your family,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Which is nice.
Okay, let's continue to talk about the psychology of celebration with Dr. Geraldine Tan on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Twice, Set Me Free on Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. All right.
Yes, so there are two parts to it. Let's go big parties first. Why do we have big parties? What are big parties for?
For big gatherings. I mean, that might have been what it started with.
Big gatherings, but what do big gatherings do, So,
Show off.
Yeah, I was
Show
about to
off?
say.
That's not what she was hoping for you to say.
show
Enjoy, party together, I guess.
so when you think of concerts, big parties, right? It's that self-expression, the very freedom, liberation.
That's not how I feel during my gatherings. The opposite.
Big parties. So you think of National Day Parade, you think
no, I'm
of
an introvert, so I get high anxiety with big crowds.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, how come you're an introvert also, huh?
You also?
No, because you said I was listening to Joshua in the evening. I am not an introvert. No way. I love big crowds.
Yeah, I
so,
cannot.
The bigger the better.
I cannot, yeah.
But I was listening in yesterday evening to
Josh,
On Your Way with Joshua Simon. Trust, you're on your way with Joshua Simon. Okay, so he was saying that he's also introverted and he doesn't like big crowds.
I can see that, yeah.
A lot of entertainers are because
Yeah.
their entertainment is their way of
Oh,
expressing
Chris
themselves.
Evans. Okay, I need to tell you guys a story now.
Wow, okay.
Chris Evans.
Why are we bringing my future
Captain
husband
America.
into this?
There you go.
Future husband.
I like the chat. No, we spent some time.
You know Chris?
Yeah.
No, because I host. No, he doesn't know me.
Knows him very well.
Give him my number.
But he depended on me while I was
Oh.
hosting,
Okay,
the Avengers the last time they were in town. And I discovered and I found out that Chris Evans is extremely afraid of crowds.
I mean, if you look like Chris Evans, you should be afraid of crowds. Just girls mauling over him all the time, I'm sure.
So we had to wait almost an hour before he plucked up that courage to go out and meet, everyone
It's
there
quite a
at
lot.
Marina Bay
It's
Sands.
quite a lot, though, I can imagine.
Yeah.
you know.
So the rest of the crew, Anthony Mackie was there. The Russo brothers. We all had to kind of wait for him to compose himself.
Yeah. Oh,
and
dear.
then go out. But nice guy.
Yeah. He seems like an introvert, though. And I'm an extroverted introvert, which means I can turn it on and I can turn it off,
You're lucky.
especially for work. But if I have a induced panic attack from a crowd, I have to
Exit the
exit
place,
myself,
right?
yeah, and
We should
compose
talk
myself,
about it
and then
sometime.
come.
Wait,
Yeah.
you had like panic attacks?
For sure. I mean, it's in my head. I know it's in my head. But then I go through this cycle of, oh, nobody's talking to me, or maybe nobody likes me, or is it what I wore? Is it what I'm saying? Is it how I'm talking? Is it my accent? Is it, there's so many things that it could be, but actually it doesn't, nobody cares. It's just me in my head. And I need to, and then all of a sudden I can't breathe, and then I have to just excuse myself. And then compose myself, and I can.
That is a horrible
we should
feeling,
talk
right?
about it next week.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
introverts versus
Yeah,
extroverts.
yeah, we should.
right?
Yeah, let's
We
do
should.
that.
But
Yeah.
celebrations, like you were saying, right? It can be a very happy occasion if I'm with a
Can.
group of friends that I feel safe with.
Yes.
Because my group of friends that I feel safe with, they know when to ignore me. Because if I have attention when I don't want it, then that's when it starts. Because then I'm like, oh, why is everyone looking at me? What? I'm like, did I do
Yeah.
something wrong? Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very, I don't know. It's my hit. So I yeah.
Yeah, so the other part of the big celebrations or the festivals is this part where the mental health seems to be all positive, all shiny, but it can be what Daphne said about feeling anxious, the anxiety. So those that have social anxiety, those that are a little bit introverted, it can be very daunting for them. It can be very intimidating for them. Yeah.
But are you
That's
really
quite
introverted? I mean, the introverts, when they say they're introverts, are they really introverts or not?
Well,
I mean,
I'm an extroverted introvert, which means my baseline is introvert. So I can spend 5 days home alone with my dog. Don't need to see other people. I'm fine. I actually would enjoy that.
same. I can do that as well.
So maybe you're an introverted extrovert. I don't know. Maybe you're just special.
We've all known that for a long time.
But yeah, I really do. I enjoy my alone time, but being in a big crowd of people really freaks me out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the extroverts or maybe also introverts, after a big celebration, after the partying, after
the unwind, right?
Well, not quite the unwind. So just imagine all the National Day performers. They spend months, going for rehearsals and doing that performance on that one day. And then after that, what happens?
But that's
So
been my
there's a
whole life,
crash.
Since 16, I would do a big show, and then every time I did it, I would build myself up to it, thinking that this is going to change my life, this is going to be amazing. And then there's just the next day, when nothing has changed. I even wrote a song about it.
That's something I don't get, because I host shows and stuff like this, right? So for me, I do a show, and at the end of the show, for me, it's a joy. The show is over, and now I look forward to the next one.
Yes.
But-
So I don't
I
have
think-
that down.
Well, I think for an upcoming, artist and performer, you always hope that the next big show with the big audience will be the one. That there might be someone there that's going to blow you up, that's going to share you with a
right.
bunch of people, or this is going to be the show that everyone's like, wow, Daphne blew it out of the park. We never knew that she could do this or that. And you prepare and prepare and prepare. And then because I'm the boss of my own, the label, management, whatever, I every morsel of me is working for that one show.
Right.
And then when it's done, it's initially I had 50 people that would report to me, and I was texting everyone and organizing everything, and all of a sudden I don't have anyone to talk to because the show is over. So there's this big gap of did anything actually happen? You wait to go and read the reviews and see if anyone like cared that the show and that's how you know, that's like a big empty hole.
Switch,
Yeah.
yes, a switch
So-
from activity to non-activity.
Yeah.
But some people actually do fall into depression. So the post-festivities depression.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it back on when
Okay.
we get back on air.
All right. Stand by.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
your
what was
her
that?
song request, Dr. Gerry's song request.
Oh, okay. You know, Kid has got a new version out.
Yep, this is the one we're playing.
This is the old one.
Oh, this is.
There.
Oh, yeah.
That's the older one that we're playing. Yeah.
Kid Chun with Home.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Well, we've got the usual delays across the expressways. We do know that. There are not too many areas for you to look out for. The BKE towards the PIE, an accident after the KJE. So look out for that. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is award-winning psychologist from the therapy room, Dr. Geraldine Tan, in the studio. Good morning, Jerry. What is it you love so much about that song, Home? I think you're the only one who
requested
likes the
for it,
song,
yeah.
I think.
Really?
No.
I know. I love that. What do you mean? Every Singaporean loves this song. What are you talking about?
I think it's the number one.
It is the number one
It is the
National
number
Day
one
song.
National
Song
Day
for National
song.
Day, yeah.
Of course, written by our very own Dick Lee.
Right.
It's an interesting song because whenever I hear it,
Whenever you're feeling low, you look around you and you know.
no, but, it's odd. But whenever I hear that song,
Yeah.
I feel particularly Singaporean.
Yeah, and I think it's also it came at a time where we didn't have a lot of local music that sounded so us, you know, because Kit Chan managed to sing it in a way that is not overly Singaporean. She
Yeah.
doesn't sing it in Singlish.
No.
She sings it like a regular, you know, no accent, very neutral accent. And then the idea of all the lyrics being like so confounded in what we already know and feeling this place of very, very patriotic. It makes you feel very, very nostalgic.
Yeah,
From if you think about where Singapore was when that song came out, 2004, so about almost like 20 years ago,
Correct.
19 years ago.
But 20, yeah.
19 years ago, no Esplanade, no, you know, any of these, no Sota, none of these places
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
And yet we had this beautiful song come out
Yeah.
about our country.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what
and we
makes
could
that song.
identify with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even think Dick Lee expected that song to be
No.
so huge,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, he's a fantastic songwriter.
And he said, I think he wrote it in like half an hour or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, but those are the best ones because you know that you're being inspired. It is the world that's helping, the universe helping you write it, you know?
Yeah.
But speaking of festivities,
Yes.
on the Big Show TV, Dr. Gerry Tan was talking about how sometimes there can be a bit of a come down after the celebrations. Yeah.
So that one is a little bit more clinical, but you know, coming back to the happier one,
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
you know, the togetherness, the sense of belonging. So there's this innate need for human beings. Why do we need community? It's that sense of belonging. I want to know I belong somewhere. So when the song came out, you know, we know we belong somewhere. We know we
Yeah.
belong together. So festivals, celebrations like you know, National Day tomorrow, we know we belong somewhere. We know
Right.
we have a home. We know we have a place.
Yeah.
And that we are accepted. So important for all of us to be accepted. Yeah. So the communities tell us that we are accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I understand why at the end of one of our National Day parades, that little boy went and showed his middle finger to the camera. Remember, there was
Yeah.
that. Everyone was talking about it.
What?
There was one year.
Which year was that? I vaguely remember.
I think it
It was on air,
2 years
they
ago.
saw it,
Yeah,
it aired
yeah,
on
and
TV.
everyone was
Live
talking about it.
on TV.
It went viral. So this kid, right after Madam Halima walked past and everything, you know, then after that the camera it came to him, right, and then he flashed his middle finger.
Oh, no.
No, but now I know why he did that, because you just mentioned, right? I mean, we were just talking about how, you know, for some people they you know, they're disappointed after they've been doing something for such a long time, and these kids, I've been rehearsing for like months.
Yeah.
So after the whole thing was over, he went like, there. What am I going to do now?
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Have a look at this.
Oh,
This poor boy was
dear.
counseled, by his school.
Oh dear.
Which I thought was...
I mean, he just made an
unnecessary.
unfortunate mistake in the wrong place, wrong time.
I mean, everyone made such a big deal about it, but I think he was just expressing
He was
himself.
being
He's like,
expressive.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit more about this
it's over? Nah.
on the Big Show TV.
It's 8:15.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by...
I never knew.
Yes.
I never knew that happened.
The camera, you know how at the end of it, the camera zooms past all the performers,
Yeah.
right? So they all, and his
Maybe
hand
he
goes
just-
up, and then boom.
Maybe he thought he wouldn't be aired.
Probably.
But that,
No, the camera comes to you. It's
No,
right
but
in
they
your
have roving.
face,
They have a
right?
bunch of roving cameras, so he might not have thought it was live. But the red light does come on. So
Yeah,
How
that's
old was he?
true.
No,
Glenn's
he was-
looking for it now.
I think primary
The
school.
Singaporean boy who flipped bird on national TV, now recognized internationally.
Yeah.
wow, I want to see what it looks like.
Okay, wait,
Is
I'll
that
show
photo?
you.
Okay,
It
okay.
is.
This
Alright.
happened. Oh, this happened in 2017.
2017.
Oh,
No wonder I
Boy,
didn't live here.
there,
That's
there's a
why.
YouTube. Boy
Video.
points middle finger on live TV. Okay.
And I wanted to say that, in big festivals or big celebrations, you can be a little bit more extreme
Yeah, of course.
without evaluation. But I guess there is an appropriate sort of behavior.
I don't know. I really don't know, because I when I saw it, the first thing I did was I laughed, and then I thought, did this boy consciously stick his middle finger up to the camera, or was it spur of the moment? I put out my hand.
It looks like he has absolutely no expression as he does it. Glenn just showed me the video.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in the background while everyone's waving their flag. So I feel like he probably didn't even realize that it was being caught, or that he'd
Yeah.
get zoomed in on,
Yeah, so I
So
don't know.
I mean,
don't know.
he's a kid.
He's a kid.
Wow, but he probably got so reprimanded for that.
He got reprimanded. There was talk about how the school had to handle it.
Please,
I was like,
Oh dear.
As usual.
Great.
Overreacting as usual. I'm
Yeah, I think
surprised
so.
they didn't send him to Dr. Geraldine Tan.
But I know he was counseled in school.
Yeah, so Maul actually wrote in on our Facebook video and said, the middle finger boy was from my kid's school at the time. It was awkward for their school to be temporarily famous for the wrong reason.
Oh.
But I just feel like boys will be boys, right? I mean, this is a
exactly.
thing where you
Boys.
just... Like, if he was part of a big crowd and maybe he didn't realize that the whole nation was watching him.
Maybe.
sorry.
And
maybe.
you probably he probably didn't understand the scope of it, Like, so can we really put,
Can we forgive?
I'm sure, yeah.
Of course we
I mean,
can.
of course we can forgive.
Moll is on our Facebook, and she said the kid has grown up to be a very cool teenager now.
Right.
She's seen a recent picture of him, and he's
Wonderful.
Yeah.
just a really cool teenager.
Okay, Shalini, let's look for this boy. Let's bring him on the show.
And Chan Kiat says, boy is a legend.
Boy is a
So I guess,
legend, yeah.
there are
Yeah.
polarizing sides of each story, but just so that he knows the scope of what he's done, maybe that's why he was reprimanded. But I'm sure if he's grown to be a cool teenager, maybe he's okay.
If this kid was my son, I'll be so proud of him.
But having said that, we don't know what really went behind.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's
He
fine.
just stood there and he just wanted to look
cool.
He wanted to be cool.
Yeah. He was probably an introvert. Being like, I don't want to be here.
Maybe he was disappointed with how that year's National Day parade turned out.
Oh.
And so it's like,
2017?
what? I sacrificed all my time every single week for this? What did you guys feed me?
Also, he went
2
with
pieces of chicken?
He went with the school, right? And then every school goes at primary 5. So I went to the National Day Parade at when I was primary 5, not in 95, primary 5. And then, but you go and it's the rehearsals. So they're doing camera checks, so nothing actually gets aired. So there's a possibility that he thought it wasn't actually live.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't
We are
know.
speculating.
We
It's
are.
okay.
It's been
He
so
is
many
a
years.
Good boy.
No,
Yes.
I tell you, it takes a lot to be a performer at the National Day Parade.
Sure.
I was offered once or twice. I completely said no. because number one, they don't exactly pay you very well, right? And it's got to be worth
Because it's
my
national duty.
Yeah. I'm like that. I'm professional like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Anyway.
I love my country and everything, but at the end of the day, I can be at Tanjung Beach having a nice pina colada,
I do
chilling
agree.
out.
I do agree with Glenn.
Yeah.
I think things like that, there's a price that comes with it, and you need to do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's national pride and whatever, but there's a price that comes with it.
Correct. So there was one time I had never been to a National Day parade before, and then I got a call and then I got a call one day from someone really high up. I'm not going to mention whom. You know that, right? And then this was at the floating platform. So they were like, they heard me talking about National Day parade and how I'm not quite into National Day parades and all that, and they gave me 2 tickets and asked me to go and check it out for myself. So I went.
Oh, so you did go.
I did go to
Okay.
to
And
basically.
you felt it, right? You felt.
I was bored to death.
Oh dear.
I was like, how do I get out of here? And I couldn't
You
even
can't.
escape.
You can't get
Halfway
You didn't even
through,
like the
it's like,
goodie bag.
no.
I guess it was cool because I was in primary 5. I was like, ooh, these things blow up. You can clap them together.
So I realized it's not for everyone.
It's
It's not for everyone.
I love my country. I love Singapore.
I do-
I love watching the parade a little bit on TV while I'm at home. I have had National Day parties because most of the time I drink a lot and I'm
Yeah.
like half drunk.
Maybe that's what that is what it was missing. Alcohol.
There you go.
So
yes.
once if you had alcohol, maybe it would have been more fun.
Maybe.
You know what? I really do think you're an introvert, Glenn.
Okay.
You don't realize that likes hanging out with people.
I love hanging out with people.
Yeah, so maybe you're an extroverted introvert.
I love staying home quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
If I'm not getting paid
Anyway,
to
back
go
to
out.
the-
Yeah, sorry about Oh my goodness,
This is all
Jerry.
about national
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm sorry.
See, this is why she made us wear red and white to stay on topic.
See, but this is what happens behind the scenes. See, this is the Big Show TV, right?
And Jerry, today no one can blame me for this, no, because I kept quiet.
Even if you're quiet, sometimes you get blamed.
That's true.
But anyway, festivities is a break in routine, and today being such an upbeat sort of topic, I wanted to break our routine and have because when we celebrate with our 5 senses.
Okay.
And as Asians, we celebrate with food.
Yes.
Of course. Did you bring food?
Yes, I did.
I got food. Jerry brought
Daphne
food.
brought food.
The
You
Raymond
brought
bag.
food.
So,
Wow.
no. It's just very simple because I know we cannot be messy here. Do you recognize these?
Wait.
Yes, of course.
Kongguan biscuits.
It's something like that.
Chocolate biscuits.
Yes.
Wait. I mentioned Kongguan. Is it Kongguan?
Oh, hello.
Can pass it down
Shalini.
to Shalini and
Every time we see biscuits, we say Kongguan, right?
no, it's
Hello.
not. It's not. It's just
ASMR.
ayo.
Hello.
Wrong.
Hey, if my dog hears this, she was all over.
I'm
Like,
very happy.
Yeah, it's like, what is that coming out of the packet?
Yeah. Is it
right?
for me? Is it for me?
Yes. Is it Cheezels? Is it Twisties?
Then you give your
Is
dog
it
Cheezels and Twisties.
Pringles.
Okay.
Biscuit gets like treats from me all the time.
Is that why you call it a biscuit?
So, we
He
have,
doesn't like dog biscuits. He likes real biscuits.
Of course.
so that's the biscuits that we immediately think of Kongguan.
Yes, we do. Absolutely,
I
all the
thought,
time.
I thought Daphne was
you-
going to slap my face with
No.
this one.
Sorry.
Remember this one?
Okay.
Yes.
This one,
Cornflakes.
I don't know. I don't.
Cornflakes.
How come so small these days?
Huh? This
It
is
used to
always
be-
the size.
No, it used to be bigger.
Oh,
Yes,
wait,
yes,
20
yes.
seconds.
No.
We gotta go back on there.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't know whether I should tell you what we call this when.
Yes, I know. Communion. Yes.
Are you serious? Communion?
I like
Yeah,
body
this-
of.
But yeah, we
Alright,
used, to
10
play, we used to
seconds.
play this game when we were kids.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Okay,
I'll tell you about it in a minute.
okay, Ken.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Do you really want to know? You can't handle the traffic.
Oh no,
No.
is that bad?
No, we've got the usual delays across the expressways. There's nothing too bad for you to worry about this morning, so you should be all right as you head out. Just please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
All right,
So-
Dr. Gerry Tan has given us.
Yeah. Dr. Geraldine Tan in the house
Okay.
from the therapy room.
So, Jerry,
He's
these
Yes.
distracted with snacks.
these are Haw Flakes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
You can only
I
find
swear.
them in Singapore.
I swear,
okay?
I'm gonna have to go to confession on Sunday. So when we were kids, right, all my cousins and myself, we would play games,
Oh dear.
and one person would have to dress up in white,
Why?
and
Priest.
he would be the priest.
Oh, you played with these
Yeah,
like
and-
that.
and-
Oh,
and
no.
Literally, we used to make believe that this was the Eucharist.
This is before we receive our first Holy Communion.
This is before we done First Holy
Okay.
Communion.
See our parents, going up for communion all the time. It's like, wow, looks
What-
damn shook, huh?
FOMO,
What
ah,
biscuit
FOMO.
is that?
And we go up there, we go, Body of Christ. And if you didn't say amen, we take it back.
Oh my goodness.
Very good practice and preparation.
Absolutely.
Correct.
That's right. Oh,
Then
yes.
you're right, they are smaller.
They're
They are
smaller.
much
Yes,
smaller.
yes,
They
yes.
were
These are
bigger.
the small ones. So because we do mindful eating at our center, so we go into
Oh.
organizations and we do mindful eating. We can't give them the huge ones.
Yeah.
So we give them the small ones.
So what is
Yeah.
mindful eating?
Mindful eating. So be using all your senses to eat.
Wow.
Yeah. So not just your taste, but your sight, your smell, your the texture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to I think a Women's Day brunch and we did mindful eating all together. It was beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Took a very long time though.
Yeah. So we don't do.
Neil Glenn.
Hey,
You really need to
You don't
go
need to
go
kneel.
for
What?
it's reliving his childhood.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
talking about smells.
Oh, Tiger
Oh,
Balm.
Tiger Balm.
Tiger Balm.
I still use Tiger Balm.
Yeah, yeah.
I prefer
Oh.
Tiger Balm over Vicks.
I didn't bring my what do you call inhaler
X
today.
oil.
X oil.
Oh, these are all smells from my childhood.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh,
what
this
do you mean
was my
from your
mother's
child-
favorite.
You don't tell me you don't use it these days.
Still do.
Yeah.
So you can
Best.
smell.
Yeah,
You
Tiger
know,
Balm.
I
Very
remember
nice.
in primary school or even secondary school, keeping one inside my
Always.
pencil case and then having a sniff.
I think I
I
know
have-
how this is different from Vicks now. It's got like what's
What's
that
that?
powder that starts with T?
Tiger's claw.
No,
Tea powder. It starts with tea.
like you put it in
Talcum
food.
powder. Oh
Food.
no. Put it in food.
Yeah.
Turmeric.
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 It's got a bit of a
Turmeric.
turmeric
Turmeric.
essence.
Turmeric.
Turmeric.
But this is my mom's favorite. I don't know what it's called.
It's called Yu
Oh,
Yi
yes.
Yu Yan
oil.
San. Yu Yan. No.
Chap limao. It's lime oil or something like that.
What's the traditional name for this?
Ru Yi Yo.
Ruiyu.
So
Oh,
the-
Juiyu. That's what she
Ru
calls
Yi
it.
Yo. So they
Yeah.
would usually rub it between their palms
Yeah,
and then put it on the
your
tummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel ill, my mom still does it for me.
Okay, what? It's all right. It works.
It's cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I love it. It feels like, because as you get older, you get less physically affectionate with your parents, I feel. Whereas I'm very, very close to my mom still. So she's, she likes doing things like that for me. She's like, oh, let me do for you. And I'm like, yes,
Smells
please.
of
So cute,
Singapore,
so cute.
Yeah,
right?
smell of love. is
Smell
what
of
I
love.
feel.
So is this the
Smell of
reason we brought
Singapore.
all this in? Smells
Yes.
of Singapore?
Yes.
You know XL is from Malaysia, right?
That doesn't matter.
But we use it here.
But we use it here, come on.
We use it here.
Right.
And it's a...
I can't remember the number of times I've tied a knot in the corner of my handkerchief and then put X oil on it.
Oh, dear.
And then in school, sniff to stay away.
Wow.
That is such a grandma way.
It is! It's a grandma way of doing it.
But you were young then.
No, now
and who
he
taught
still
me?
does it.
No, I can still do it now.
He'll tie a little knot at the end of his handkerchief. He still carries a hanky.
Oh.
And then just dab some X oil.
X oil. Oh, sure.
Is that your toto?
Yeah. That's my
Because he finds it more economical than buying the inhaler from the pharmacy.
That's probably true. If you want to check out all these fun stuff that Dr. Gerry has brought, check us out on The Big Show TV. But we're going to wrap up with Dr. Gerry on air.
Oh,
thank you
yes.
so much for coming today and
Any
giving
last
us all
words?
these
Yes.
goodies. And yeah.
So Oprah Winfrey says, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
You know who just condemned Oprah Winfrey? Mel Gibson.
Oh dear.
No.
Oh dear.
We take the good parts of
Yes.
everyone.
Yes. We want to see the best in everyone.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. I mean, I'm not saying that Mel Gibson was right. I mean, we all know Oprah Winfrey, right? She's inspired so many people around the world.
It's true.
Just like
And
Dr.
she's
Geraldine.
human.
Aw.
Yes, just like
Yes.
Dr. Geraldine.
Thank you, Jerry,
Always a
for
sweet person.
helping so many people on a daily basis. Jerry works very, very hard. If you need to talk to someone professionally, please look Jerry up. She's like the
And
sweetest.
my team,
Absolutely.
and her team. I've been trying to get her to to
To sit on my
sort
couch,
me
right?
out.
I just want to thank you for bringing in the tastes and the smells of my childhood. It was really good.
Aww.
It was
And
really
it
His
will
good.
childhood.
continue
My
to.
childhood,
Not
yeah.
your childhood, man?
No lah.
Mine
What
too.
is this? I don't
Mine
know.
too.
Nonsense.
What is this? I've never seen these things before
Pretend.
in my life. Okay, thank you so much, Gerry.
Welcome, and I'll be back next week.
Yay!
Right.
Coming up next, we've got our senior transport correspondent, Lee Nian Tjoe, and we'll be talking about the brand new rapid charging points
Yeah.
for EV car
cars.
owners.
Because
Yeah,
you
very
want to ask him that, right?
Of course, absolutely. I'm getting, really excited. In less than 10 days, I'll have my first EV.
Amazing.
Nice.
Good to know, good to know.
Okay. Up next, Shaza, this is Buttons on Kiss 92.
we're staying.
We're saying, I was like, bye. Thank you.
Thank you
for the treat.
Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you so much.
So good to see you.
Happy National
Thank you for meeting us.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, we got to do a photo with Jerry, all of us in the red and white.
How about I take a
Over
photo?
there.
Yeah.
Nian Tjoe, come in also.
Oh, yeah, we're not in color, so yeah, we
No,
can
because
go
we
in.
come in, then she won't feel so alone.
I didn't get the memo.
Come,
No,
come,
it's
come.
okay. No. It's okay. Yeah, I was like, whoa, girl.
Okay,
We're gonna take a photo. We'll be right back.
Come.
Come and go.
Come on in.
We need a photo.
Alamak.
I've got enough yellow on me.
We want Jerry on the end, I'll go on you. Otherwise Jerry's hanging on the end.
I thought we were putting the short girls at the end.
Try my hair okay or not? Before you take a shot, tell me whether- Thank you.
We are Singapore. We are Singapore.
Oh no!
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Have a nice
Bye.
day.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Oh, I won't see you next week. I'll see you next week. We're back.
We are back.
We're back.
We're back again.
From outer space.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. So, Shell stations, huh?
Yes.
I was just
Yeah.
talking to the person at my Shell station. I said, I think maybe in 10 days from now, I won't see you all already. Like, why? I said, because I don't need petrol anymore. I'm going to charge my car. And then
Shouldn't
he
you
didn't
be
say
going to
anything.
SPC?
I didn't know Shell stations had charging points. Do they have now?
Yeah, they're quite the early ones actually.
How come I,
Yeah, they
I
got in
don't
quite
see
early.
any charging point in the Bradle one?
Maybe sometimes you
not
don't
so
see because
selected.
you're not looking.
Yeah, I think there are about 20-something stations now with it.
Oh, okay,
Now,
okay.
Yeah.
you're talking about standard charging points or these new
Like that.
super
Standard
super-
ones, yeah. I mean, they're
Still,
super fast and all that, but they're only as fast as your car can take.
can take,
That's
yeah.
one. And then I was describing this to the colleagues in the office. Remember the days when we had ADSL at home? You know, if in the block and then you realize everyone else is gaming, right? You know your speed comes down.
Yes.
Yeah, charging is kind of like that too.
Oh.
Oh, so
Yeah.
in other words, if I have one charging point and two
Yeah.
cables coming out, then
Yeah.
my charge time is going to be
Yes.
longer.
Right.
Yeah, so if you ask the operators or the contractors, they say, oh, you got two guns, half, if both are plugged in.
Right.
Yeah. So there are all these constraints, but I thought this was an interesting news still because news about fast chargers really is not going to change somebody who already is has an EV. Like
Yeah.
in 10 years later, Glenn already be having it. It's like, okay, fast charger, good. Not
Yeah.
so fast, never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's just the news like that. I think has a bit of. I just wonder how much effect it is in terms of nudging somebody who's on the fringe. It's like, I know it used to take 4 hours. Now I potentially, in 15 minutes I have half tank.
Right.
It's like, okay, maybe it's possible now. I can imagine that more people be more able or can see themselves using an EV now.
Correct. So I've thought about it long and hard, before, deciding, okay, but one of the reasons why I got an EV is because, we talk a lot about it,
Yeah.
but nothing beats like experiencing
Yeah.
it for yourself, right? So,
Right.
so I'll be clearer in terms of like telling everyone, okay, so I don't charge it 100%, obviously. You know, at any one time, it should be about maybe 80%.
Yes,
yeah. Right.
And, you know, the places I go, for example, to shop, if those shopping centers have charging points,
Might as
then I can
well.
just leave my car there. So you don't necessarily need to have your own charging point. You don't necessarily need to have, like, to live in a landed property to have your own charging point. You can still do it, you know,
Do you get charged for charging your car at a mall or something?
Yes,
Yes.
whenever you use a charger, you get charged.
Yeah.
Am I
So
right?
there's like a
And you get to pay parking too.
Yeah.
right, of course,
yeah.
yeah. Okay,
No.
but it's kind of like paying for petrol,
Correct.
right?
No.
There are different apps you can use. So, like for me, I think I'm going to use SP because I mean,
You have home and all that, right?
correct.
Yeah.
So they have an option there. And you open it up, if I'm not mistaken. You just scan the QR code, and then you can charge,
Okay.
and you get
It'll
paid
be-
accordingly.
Well, it'll be interesting when you actually start using it
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
how practical it actually is.
There are places where you can get charging for free.
Hey?
Amazing.
So one popular haunt is at IKEA at Tampines.
Oh,
It's free.
Yes,
that is crazy.
but you think
Guess
about
where
it.
you're
that-
going
that-
tomorrow.
Yeah, and the day after. And
when he gets the EV, so in a couple weeks.
But actually, there's so many dimensions to this topic because I was just trying to look up population, right? How many electric vehicles do we actually have? So on cars, population were about 1 point something percent,
okay.
8,000 cars.
Yeah,
That makes
7,000,
sense.
8,000
That
cars.
makes sense,
all.
though,
I
right?
was blown away when I did my research as well. I'm like,
But-
7,000
Yes.
over cars only?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so
I
it
thought
doesn't
was
sound like
more.
much, but then there is the intensity. I mean, like I used to think in my younger days, I don't take a lot of space, but I eat a lot and I eat frequently. So that, you know, if you use that analogy and you cross over to charging, private cars maybe like in our working lives we don't in this kind of work where you're literally sitting stationary and not on the move so much, you don't have to charge so frequently. And then on the other side, if you have people who are doing either you're just doing sales, okay, let's put the delivery guys aside.
Yeah.
Doing sales, and you say I'm doing sales runs, I clock hundreds of kilometers a day. Then maybe you need to charge more frequently.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So this point with charging point coming to free charging. So in the morning, I the few times when I was at a place with free charging, and I saw that hey, the charging points are full. Because the guys are getting their breakfast,
Okay.
they plug in, get a couple of
Juice,
kilowatts in,
yeah.
juice
Yeah.
in, while they fill up as well
Right.
before they start the day.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's all these dimensions to this use.
Mm.
Yeah, now at 9,000 something, I go like, wow, these chargers are not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
It's an appropriate amount for the resources that we have at the moment.
It
I
depends. I think it depends.
Well,
Yeah.
like I was just. This is before I went to Australia on leave. I was talking to a neighbor of mine, right? And we were talking about EV cars, and when would he get one? And his thought was, you put in the charger into the car park first. Huh?
Chicken and egg, right?
Like I thought
Chicken and egg.
SPH would have like charging points, but we don't have it yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, right.
maybe we'll have it soon.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect, man. Okay, stand by. We're gonna go on air. Hold me closer. I didn't like the song when it first came out,
Yeah.
but it grew on me.
It does grow on you.
Elton
it's
John.
Elton John.
Featuring Britney Spears. Hold me closer. All right, you tuned in to Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. It's Glenn, Daphne Koo, and the Flying Dutchman. And our second guest for this morning is the senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times, Lee Nian Tjoe. And we're talking about Shell launching its fastest EV chargers powered by solar energy.
Now, to me, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
That's the interesting point.
It was very hot yesterday when I was there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No,
Lots of
but-
energy.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
and it's better for the environment. You know, we're not taking this off some coal-burning power plant. You know what I mean?
I think it helps. It helps move us towards that goal of sustainability. In some way. Secondary to the solar energy is the fact that there's actually a really big power bank that is located beside the chargers.
Okay.
So what happens is that this is actually a bigger topic. Excuse the incoming nerdiness here.
No.
Please
that-
go ahead.
To juice up the number of vehicles, you need a lot of power, obviously. But the power grid that where we live or where we work, are not usually ready or prepared. 10 years ago when they built a building, or 20 years ago, they did not think that I'm going to need to put in so much power
Yeah.
to get all the Teslas on the road.
Right.
So the solution is you could either dig up the road, okay, that's not very good, put in lots of cables, upgrade the grid, burn more fuel, coal and all that, all the other things that come with it. Or this other solution that Shell is getting on, which I think is pretty smart, is that they essentially pack a power bank. The power bank stores up the juice, right?
Okay.
You know, and the source of energy is from the sun as well as from the grid, but they're loading up so that you have an amplifier, as it were.
Yeah.
Right. So when your EV rocks up and says, "I need a juice, I need power quick," I can help you because I already preloaded it for you.
Right.
Kind of like hybrid. Like a hybrid.
In a sense, but it's not like
charger.
outsourced, right?
Yeah.
Sitting outside.
And that's a very good point because, many condominiums, for example, don't have charging points because, number one, they would have to create a new, charging point.
Port,
Yeah.
a port.
And
Yeah.
this will have to come out of the sinking fund.
Yeah.
And many committee members vote against it.
No, but
You
even
know,
their grid may not be able to sustain
and
it.
it has to take up a minimum of 4 lots as
Yeah.
well, from what I understand. So this is holding many people
my
back.
condo just did it. Only 2 lots.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they're
but-
trying it
But
out.
there are
They're trying
4.
it
I
out.
think there are 4
No.
charging
Only,
chargers.
Oh, no, 1 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
there
checked,
there
but I
is
think it's only 1 each.
actually the rules have been updated slightly to help. Usually I would say it's more for the condo dwellers than the rest of them who don't want it. Is to make it a little bit easier to get the approval to put in the chargers.
Oh, okay.
So on the topic of cost, actually there is a fund that the condominium can apply for. Usually this will be done by whoever gets the job to put in the chargers that help to subsidize the installation.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're trying to make it a little bit easier. Before the rules kicked in, I believe you need to have what is called extraordinary agreement, right?
Yeah.
When you go for your annual meeting that nobody attends,
Yeah.
except the few guys.
It's true. I never attended.
Yeah.
So if you want an EV, right, then you can go in and vote. Yes, put in a charger now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but now they actually lower the thresholds to
Okay.
an
Oh.
ordinary approval.
See, the
that's
thing is,
better.
I know for a fact that if I go and ask them, right, I mean, it's going to be a bit awkward because I'm definitely the only person in my entire condo
wants an EV.
who is going to have an EV. So
But
then it's going to feel
you never
like...
know. You never know.
No, but at the end of the day, with property and whatever, right? I feel that having EV chargers is actually going to affect the price of your
Yes.
property.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is. That's why you want the EV chargers.
Yeah, this is
there,
actually
right?
seen elsewhere, and I've spoken with condo these management committees, of course, because they are installing it. That's why they say so. But they do see a potential, whether it's for your leases,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who are renting, or just a feature, just that you have smart building features that's very
Yeah.
attractive now.
Because everyone's going to be asking, right? Like, okay, I want to buy a unit in this condo.
Yeah.
Do they have EV charging
chargers?
points?
Just in
Yeah.
case you're going to get
Yeah.
an EV next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue to talk to Nian Tjoe on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj, Side to Side on Kiss 92. Sounds like Daphne.
Oh wow! Thank you. I thank you so much.
That is so good though that they have this fund that they can tap on.
Yeah,
I
but
think that's very important.
unfortunately, for
condominiums.
whatever reason, the take up for this incentive is very low. It's like I think if it's imagine they set aside, I believe the take up is less than 30%.
Oh, wow.
Thereabouts.
very
Yeah,
low.
it's been running for a while. So I think it's on the other hand, I think in its defense is that it takes a while to get the news out.
Right.
And then as residents, you kind of also drag your feet a bit, right? The next meeting is only in 6 months' time. Let's think about it. And a few guys like Glenn might be saying, hey, I'm shopping at EVs. I start
Yeah.
thinking about it. Then you start like sharing the good news, poisoning your neighbors, right? To try to canvass for votes. So these things can be very slow.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing that could happen is someone like Glenn, for example, is getting an EV now, and you don't have EV chargers in your condo. And why you don't
And my
have
condo
them?
is a relatively new condo as well, so I don't know why they voted
I
against
think it's
it.
because it's new, so they don't want to do more work on it at the moment.
At the
I've got
moment-
like 1 million lots, in my condo as
Oh.
well.
Yeah.
No, but
Many of which are not even
I
taken
think
up.
perversely, getting an EV lot in the condo, right, means I think it would be like the third most powerful parking space in a resident
Yeah.
environment, right?
Yeah.
You have the handicap, family lots, EVs.
Yeah.
Right.
You see them in the mall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because there are not that many EV.
Yes.
But it's not a lot that you're supposed to be parking in. It's just there while you're charging. After you finish charging already, please go park in another lot.
A regular
You
lot.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It should be like that.
It should be. You know,
and-
you
and-
charge, you get your notice on your phone, and you go,
Yeah.
I haven't
And-
finished dessert yet, you know.
And based on what Nian Tjoe was talking about just now, right? Like some people who don't have, or someone who has an EV, and then you go and tell your neighbor, hey, next time around, vote for, EV charging points. I feel like, I don't want to be one of those guys. Like right now, I mean, I'm the only one with an EV that I go down there and like I almost use Hokkien bad, but go down there and make a lot of noise, saying, hey, how come,
Cowbells.
Yeah.
Cowbells.
How come
yeah.
we don't have an EV charging point? Because, I don't want to force this upon anyone,
Yeah.
and I feel like even if I did not have an EV, I wasn't driving an EV, and why not? Why not have a charging
Yeah.
point anyway?
I mean, you could always bring it up, not to like rattle anything,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
you feel like there's a bit of resistance, then just leave it lah. But I mean, you might not be the only one that would benefit from it. Yeah.
I don't see how it's going to affect anyone. So what I'm trying to say here is, at the last AGM, I don't know why
was
some
put
of these
down.
people rejected the proposal.
I can tell you why, because they all know that Glenn Ong is there. They're waiting for Glenn Ong,
Yeah, right.
the
pay for it.
supreme leader, to bring it up.
to pay for it.
No, to bring it up.
He's got to bring it up.
Well, today I'm gonna, just find out.
Are you on the committee?
No, I'm not on the
Oh,
committee.
then
Yeah. I don't want to be on any committee. It's too much work.
too much work,
much
too
work.
much effort. All right, we're gonna
Yeah.
go back on air.
Okay.
Wrist icicle, ride bicycle, come true, yo. Get you this type of blow. If you want a menage, I got a tricycle.
Kids Night 2, all the great songs in one place. So we're with Lee Nian Tjoe, Senior Transport Correspondent at the Straits Times, and we were talking about, all things EV. But the thing about Nian Tjoe's article is that he's revealed that Shell has launched its fastest EV charger powered by solar energy, and this is definitely a good thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it goes towards solving of quite a few problems that we have. One is the electric vehicles need power.
Right.
Yeah.
So doing this, as we were sharing earlier, what Shell is doing is that they're able to put in the power without having to do very extensive upgrades and digging up their stations to do this.
Right, for
The other thing
power.
is they're actually offsetting the energy that goes into the chargers. Actually, it's actually a put together from the equivalent of the solar energy that's being captured at all their at various stations, 37 stations in fact.
So they're
just to
all
support this.
connected? They're all
Not quite. So is this idea of getting a credit equivalent?
Oh,
Because when the
okay.
energy is taken, when you produce the electricity from solar, right, that get contributed into our national grid.
Okay.
In exchange,
okay,
you get this
okay.
the equivalent. And then so when you
Right.
draw out from this station, like the one I was at Thompson at Lakeview, that actually is equivalent of a renewable energy now.
I see.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but it's not free though, right? Even though it's sun energy.
No, it's not. I mean, the equipment and the time
Yeah,
and all
it's
that.
not.
I was talking to
Right.
the guys behind it. He said there's really a whole lot of tech
Right.
that they're using this as a way to learn, because the idea with having that massive power bank to shore up energy and be ready when you need them,
Yeah.
that is an expensive and also I won't say it's an emerging tech, but it's a kind of technology that needs a bit of development.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're
Yeah.
using this as an exercise to learn,
Yeah.
and hopefully, I mean, we were talking to the people at Shell and all that. They're saying that they want to get this formula sorted out,
Yeah.
so that they can
So it's-
potentially implement it in other places.
Yeah.
It's kind of beta mode at the moment.
Yes.
lah.
It's quite
I
interesting.
love it.
Yeah.
But more importantly, will I still be able to get my Shell loyalty points?
I think so, and
Would
they
be,
were
what?
trying to sell us or pitch this idea that their convenience store is how good and great. I just
Oh.
enjoy that there's still AC in there.
It's very interesting, this whole
Yeah.
power bank thing, because I just came back from Australia, and that's an idea that they're starting to use in houses.
Yes.
So houses in their backyard now have massive power banks
Yeah.
that are just collecting power off the solar
When
panels
it's-
on the roof.
Plus,
So
when it's
smart.
cheap.
Yeah.
The other
so
thing to
smart.
note is that in places like that where your power tariffs,
Okay.
the tariffs are not the
Yeah.
same price from 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you bank it in when it's cheap, you spend it when it's more expensive. You gotta lower your cost.
Smart.
You know who's
Very
doing our solar panels, power panels, and all that? Our good friend Benedict Go.
Is that
Oh.
right?
Yes, I think maybe I should get in touch with him.
Maybe you
get him to come on the
should.
show and talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I think he's still doing it now.
We'll
We'll
check.
find
We'll
out.
check in
We'll
with him.
find out.
Yes,
Check.
yes, yes.
We'll check.
All right, Nian Tjoe, before you go, any last words?
No, I've spoken enough.
Okay. Thank you
you
so
very
much,
much.
Nian Tjoe. We'll see you next week, yeah?
Yes. See
All
ya.
right.
See
Happy
you.
National Day to
Happy
you.
Happy National Day.
Day.
All right. We've been speaking to senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times, Lee Nian Tjoe. This has been The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Coming up next, headline news and sports.
Wake up.